Boeing CEO says he would put his family in a 737 MAX. Boeing CEO said he would trust his own family in a 737 MAX jet after testing new software in the wake of two deadly crashes. In October after the second crash, Boeing 737 MAX jets were grounded. Earlier this month, but in an exclusive interview with incoming anchor Norah O'Donnell, Muhlenberg acknowledged the incidents damaged public trust. A portion of their Dennis Muhlenberg: I do personally apologize to the families. We feel terrible. Norah O'Donnell: did you ever consider resigning? Muhlenberg: no. It's important that the admission by the CEO of Boeing will be watched closely by people like Paul and George, who lost his entire family in the Ethiopian air crash. And George said, O'Donnell: he's pointing the finger at Boeing. How does that affect Muhlenberg? Well, I understand the feelings of all the loved ones and families who have been affected, and I can't even claim to begin to comprehend how much it's impacted them, and unfortunately I can't change what happened. I would if I could. The common link between both crashes was the performance of a new flight control system called MCAS, which activated after it was fed erroneous information. O'Donnell: the first crash, Flight 610 that crashed into the Java Sea about 12 minutes after takeoff, killed 189 people on board. What's your Muhlenberg: well, first of all, I have to respect the fact that the investigation process is still going on. We know there was an O'Donnell: it was more than multiple times, it was 24 times. The pilots were Muhlenberg: we examine every dimension of these accidents. Not to try to Boeing admits it was a mistake in the software for a warning light, called an angle of attack disagree alert, that could have notified pilots and maintenance that there was a problem. O'Donnell: but that light was supposed to be active on all 737 MAX jets, and it was not. You knew this in Muhlenberg: the implementation of that software, we did not do it correctly. Our engineers O'Donnell: so you're fixing that now? Muhlenberg: we are fixing it now, and our communication on that was not what it should have been. O'Donnell: does Boeing have a credibility and transparency problem if they don't admit what were the mistakes in the past? Muhlenberg: no, as I said, we clearly fell short, and the implementation of this angle of attack disagree alert was a mistake, right? We did not implement it properly. We're confident in O'Donnell: you'd put your family on a 737 MAX? Muhlenberg without any hesitation: absolutely. Watch more of O'Donnell's interview with Muhlenberg on Thursday, May 30, 2019, on 7 a.m. ET.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot bar. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.